Hi, you guys. Okay, so my energy just dropped, not in a lower frequency, but it just went really quiet and really just a flatliner of thought just swept in. So I was going to pull some cards, but maybe we'll tap into light language. There was something that I wanted to I think my week, I wanted to express my week to you guys. We had snow this week, and so as soon as the snow hit, it was like 2 days of just, if I did a session, then it was straight back to bed. And I just kept doing that. I watched some movies. I haven't watched movies in a while. And it was really good. But even one of the movies I watched, The Creator, and I slept probably 1/3 of it in the middle somewhere. It was still good. It kind of was like a Star Wars vibe, if I remember correctly, a futuristic type of movie, and it was good. But I was very lethargic. It felt like, when you get sick or a flu and you're just bedridden, it felt like that, and the temperature really dropped, and that usually plays a role in it with me. So that might have been why it was, but I didn't fight it nonetheless, and it passed, and I felt really rested. And then today, usually Sundays are my coffee day, and so but last week I had coffee, and then I was craving coffee, and then I had coffee on like Monday and Tuesday, and that might be why I was so tired, because I was getting off caffeine again. So today I just had a tea. I'm like, I think I'm kind of done with coffee. I don't know. I think I don't like how it affects my sleep. I don't like how it affects quite a few things. And I find it like a drug that when I get off of it, I have this withdrawal from it. Either, I know people that get coffee headaches if they don't have coffee. Thankfully, I don't get the headaches, but I do get like a withdrawal or a tiredness or a depriving feeling of, something that I love and want. And at the same time, I love even hot water. Like, I love hot water. So it's not the coffee that is the problem. Obviously, like a little bit of an upper is awesome, but I don't know. I get different from coffee. I'm either addicted to it and then I kind of need it, or I can have one once a week, and then it's like that night I'll be up all night. I can get so much done, and it's kind of like an upper. But yeah, there's something about caffeine. I knew somebody that was like, would get an extra large coffee, 2 double shots of espresso in it, and then they were also taking caffeine pills. And I was just like, if you don't think this is a drug, it's a drug. All the Red Bulls, all the energy drinks. I had no idea I was going to be like preaching about caffeine and the cause and effect of the caffeine. Oh, what did I just hear there? Good morning. And if I don't see you later, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. What was that? That was Jim Carrey. The Truman Show. Why does that have to do with coffee? I think we should just stop in and see where this is going. They put my hands under my butt. Okay, so if you want to tap in, it's always great to cleanse. I always like to breathe 3 times just to say I'm here, to show up and clear my energy. Also get some oxygen in there. Clear the thoughts. Regulate your breath. Check in with how you're breathing. Where's your gaze when your eyes are closed? Where's your gaze when your eyes are open? Did I turn my sound on? Yeah, we're good to go. Bosha ut elsh et ut abasha ut I shall kusha chet. Bosha cho Bosha cho cho. So there's a lot of frequency around what are these? They're like crawfish, but it almost looks like a crawfish, tail and tail, like a tail head and a tail tail. You know, if you don't know what they look like, they're kind of like lobster tails, and then they're red and just kind of like a wobbled thing. So this is a two-headed tail. And there's also a hummingbird association. So I'm just going to repeat what I heard. It's hard to fly with my head up my ass is what I literally heard. So a lot's being said here of being headstrong, stubborn, things like that. And when you come to a head, even like we have multiple heads within our consciousness. You can think of multiple personality disorder. So with multiple personality disorder, these people have multiple personalities that each personality doesn't know about these other personalities within themselves. And this is a disorder because one can act out something and the other parts of that person don't know about it. It's a trauma bond that happens through trauma, right? And so, but as people without this disorder, we also have multiple personalities. We have multiple heads guiding us. And in astrology, we could link this to, let's say, Rahu or the North Node. Mars is also very headstrong. The sun's energy is very headstrong. So you'll have these diplomatic planets that also want to dictate in the direction that you're going. So there's something about the heads of self clashing at this time, to the point that I don't even see heads anywhere. It's all a bunch of tails. And so the South Node, being that of K2, this is our masteries, it's our past lives, it's everything that we've learned. And at the same time, if we don't have a head, we can't execute any of it. It's just stored in the body. And often, like when we're in the quantum and stuff like this, we'll see the DNA hidden pockets within the DNA, and these key codes can unlock and unravel certain masteries within someone's soul. And so that's all fun and dandy if these codes are coming in to unlock different parts of your soul. But if your head is up your ass, your head's being up your ass, or you're so because it's almost like a compact contact. And so it's almost like crushing the head. They're linking it to the hummingbird, and I don't quite understand that part, but they're really focusing on the big body of the hummingbird and the hummingbird itself not really having much of a mind, which I don't know, I have resistance to that, but it's probably just metaphorical. So the resistance that I'm feeling is through the body knowing better than the mind, and yet without the mind we are powerless. If there's nothing to execute that of which we've learned, if there's no way to execute the wisdom of self, then we're up against a wall. So she's saying, like, with this energy of impacting. It's saying expand the mind at this time. Expand the wisdom and the intricate meaning of your life. Expand it into a place to not delegate. Boshina makikia tutara shakare moshiata. Boshina makatara boshia tutara moshatia ota ashatia o shakia kotara moshakia aputadea shiata. It's like executing. It needs to be executed. So masteries from, so yesterday there was something that I really wanted to do, and I had like a 4-phase plan to it. And so because it has 4 phases, you don't really start anything, right? So it's been on my to-do list, and then yesterday I was going over things that I was wanting to do in January, and it was one of the things on there. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just start. I know what I need to do for this first part. I'll just do that. And I ended up getting half of it already completed. And there's something about just this just do it anyway, take action. And also, still this destiny is my hands. And now we're coming to this head. We're coming to a head, and all we have is wisdom. And so how do we execute this wisdom? How do we take this knowledge of which we've unlocked because we're going inside ourselves to expand these thoughts, these visions, these everything? So how do we bring that into fruition? How do we bring that wisdom? Because when we have wisdom, this is so much more valuable than knowledge. Because if you've ever talked to somebody that's gone through something, you can hear and feel the energy of which they're speaking as truth. There's a confidence within what they're talking about that you're like, wow, you can actually believe what they're saying. Whereas you can pick up a dime a dozen books where they're all saying the same thing, and it's like memes. You kind of think that all these people are awakened on Facebook or wherever because they're posting these awakened memes, and you're like, oh, they're awakened, and they're not. They're just, it resonates within their body, but it's not resonating within their mind yet. They're feeling the underlining tone, and they're liking that underlying tone because it's in the feeling, right? If we think of Neville Goddard, it's all about the feeling. And a lot of people have these different interpretations of what that means. And they kind of complicate it in that it's not actually the feeling. And it's like Neville Goddard, he literally said it's the feeling, So if you're going to study him and love him, why are you going to say that it's not actually the feeling? This is actually what he was meaning. Like, just write your own book or your own wisdom, right? There's something about expansion of your mind through your wisdom of self. I just heard Jim Carrey again. That's Truman Show. Wasteful minds, repetitivity, what is those? Patterns, cycles, wasted mind. Bosha ushiki. Boshinamaki atur shautu sheki ash. Boshinamagate. So give me a second. I'm just gonna Google the hummingbird. Okay, so they fly backwards. They can actually fly upside down as well. They're the only birds that can do that. Fly backwards. It's unique to them. And then also their wings fly 80 flap, but they don't flap. They do a crazy 80 times in a second. So it's very very fast. And then as well as them, they need 12 times their body weight, which isn't much. It's the weight of a nickel. Bosha Ausha Ushatia Ushakia Uta is Shakotaria Shaka Ushanamakati Dosakia Ushakatira Kotorbisha Tarimosheki Aushatir Tutarishiki Doshanamakatira Kotonamoshia Tutarishiki no Shakanamakataria Sukatanamoshaka Boshanamakia Tutarishaka. Okay, and they're still showing the two crawfish tails being associated with this hummingbird. One more second. Okay, Cohen came, so I kind of got out of there, but pretty much the head is being suppressed. I know there is a key to unlocking something within the head, and we're needing nectar to taunt it, almost like, you know, with those dog races, and you have something dangling in front of them to make them run after this treat, and then they run the race and they win, and then they actually get the treat. It's something like that. There's something of a luring, of a nectar that needs to come out of this, because also the tail is being represented of also significant with swim. And so when we swim, there's fears and unknown things, and that's what I feel. I feel there's something awakening within the body, and the mind being so disassociated from it. So, and because I'm talking to awakened people, it's you know, it feels like that awakening when you know, you're going through that awakening. If you've had the heart chakra awakening and you feel like you're having a heart attack or something, and then it turns out to be a heart chakra, and then you kind of wake up, it feels like that something's unlocking. And I feel that it has to do with gifts too. Oh, that was my dream last night. Okay, so I think I know where this is going. Okay, my dream last night was really cool. And there were some people, awakened people that I know, that were in the dream, and we had to conceal our gifts. You know, it was still, and these were some unique gifts. They weren't like, they were people that I knew, but the gifts that they had were ramped up for sure. And so we had to conceal them. There were certain places where we had to go in, and we couldn't let it be known what we could do. And then at the same time, we're being evaluated by all these kind of like robots and cameras and stuff. And we went down to this part of the beach, and I can't remember what was in their hand, but there was something in their hand, and then it flew out. And when it flew out, suddenly something happened in the sky, where all these like lights and firework looking sparkles and stuff started activating, and we were just like mesmerized by what was happening. And it was weird too, because I had my camera, and so I was like videotaping it because it was like such a phenomenon. And then at the same time, when I went to show the video to my kid in my dream, there was a green budgie bird. And it had the same kind of thing as the hummingbird, and the same, like, its neck was suppressed and the head was cocked. But at first it went into this green budgie type of bird, and then right away it went into, but it was like some kind of glitch. And there was like what is that? Like a glitch and removed. Because first off, I had no idea where this green budgie came on the video either, right? There's like a lack in a correlation. So yeah, it definitely feels like something is unlocking within the body that we don't know what it is yet. Let's get cards. Let's see what cards would be good. Wheel of Fortune, yeah. Some kind of gears are awakening in the body. 9 of Cups too. So for a lot of you, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm manifesting stuff or I do my manifestation, I like ask for like clairvoyancy upgrades, clairaudience upgrades, things like this. So this is what that looks like a 9 of Cups, like what you asked for is in motion. Like the gears are turning and it's in motion. And then here we've got the 5 of Pentacles, right? You're unaware of it. You're unaware of what's happening within your path. You're unaware of what's happening in your body, what's awakening in you, what gift is being activated in you at this time. You're unaware of it. This is a card of lack, worry, feeling less than, left out in the cold. I don't know what's going on my path, you know? It feels like I'm in limbo, this kind of energy. And then on the flip side, this is actually what's happening, is that there's a secret from your brain or from your body to your brain that what's activating within you, you're not allowed to know about just yet. So can we ask when the mind, I'm pretty sure because this message is coming through, that it means that our minds are going to know about it like right now too, very soon. And so for some people, especially if you haven't noticed certain gifts coming online, they can be a little alarming. Like literally your eyes can see different. Literally your hearing can be like so expansive, very select as well. And so these things suddenly, you know, music might start playing in your head and stuff, and this is all spirit. And so it can be, oh, why is that? And if you get lost in the why, the magic disappears. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles. And King of Wands, feminine style King of Wands. And then in reverse, we've got the 7 of Cups. So, right, there's your destiny. And when it's in reverse, this is a feeling of overwhelmment. So, for example, if you're needing a job and you haven't been able to get a job, this would be, you know, there's lots of options out there and yet you're not getting any callbacks. You don't understand what it is. This is the universe having its play with you in a way. It's testing your trust. It's testing your faith. It's testing your decision making. If I dangle this carrot, is she just going to start running after that first carrot? Or can we just test the waters? You know, is her response too quick still? Is this or that? And they do this because some people's responses all people's responses are different. And therefore, we get to receive different gifts because of the way that we respond, the way that we take action upon, right? And so it's going to be different for all of us because all of our masteries are different too, right? Maybe you were really good at archery in a past life or something, but then you have somebody else who was Robin Hood, you know, also very good at archery, but actually has wisdom of pressure and using a bow and arrow when guns are shooting, or what, you know what I mean? Like when there's an actual cause of needing a bird's eye view and precision and calmness within your body to make that shot, versus somebody that has practiced archery in a past life at target practice. You know, there's a difference of response to action. And because of those differences in response to action, as well as past life masteries or wisdom accumulated, this will activate certain things. So, but I would mention, what have you been asking for when it comes to awakening certain gifts within your body? And if you haven't asked for those things, what gifts do you believe you have in your past masteries that you would like to be unlocked now that would benefit you the most at this time? Alchemy, manifesting, these kind of things that would actually really help not only you but society, right? If you can be able to manifest clean air, clean water, these kind of things, wouldn't that be amazing for the earth and everybody concerned, right? So obviously you're not changing the fates at all. These are just personal gifts that are coming up to be activated. I feel that they're already activated in you, and so there might just be an invitation that you need to give. The sun, she's got the bird over her eye. It's a blue bird. And then the Six of Swords, right? So she's on a storm cloud. She's anchoring down to this little island, or she's pulling it down. There's actually a destined star that's attached to that anchor. And that's what I feel. There's something dropping in and activating and opening up. There may be fear associated to it. So like when my gifts came on when I was 24, I shut them down. They scared the crap out of me. And when you shut something down, the higher realms, they don't play games. They don't get me wrong, they play like magic, synchronicity and stuff like that. But when your fear trumps over a gift, you shut it down. And you have to face that fear, be thankful what happened to you, and then re-invite this thing to come in for you again. Telekinesis. This is another thing that more and more people are going to be able to do, telekinesis. And so this can definitely be activating in you. What do you need to do with telekinesis? You need to practice it. You need to believe that you can move things with your mind. And so you need to practice it. And so obviously when you practice it, and I don't even want to say obviously because this is a limiting belief that I will place upon you, but for example, it will be common for many people to not have the belief in their mind that they can move a piece of paper. You know, the best thing to do is tinfoil is really good to practice this, and just put it on like a toothpick, but you can even put it on like a box and just have it kind of curved up, and then just you can even use your hands, because a lot of people with Reiki and stuff, you can literally feel energy and stuff come out of the hands. So you can do that at first, and then after, if you do get it, moving this kind of stuff has been happening for a long time, so everybody can do that. And then just do it with your mind. And you know, sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it doesn't work. It might not work for a month. It might not work for a year for you. And then something, you're like, whoa, was that me? Because a lot of people will use a logical mind and be like, oh, there must be a draft in here. And as soon as you do that, you're setting these limitations against these gifts. And I can tell you right now that if you have a mastery of telekinesis, let's say, and you are in a situation where you need to stop time or something like that, you can literally scream something where it will stop. I've had it happen before where I've changed, like I've stopped time, I swear to God, and something that was about to happen didn't happen. And this happened with my mom and my sister, you know, like for example, I'll give the example with my mom. So my mom was in the house and my sister was around like 3 years old, and my dad was talking to a friend across the road from the house at this car, and Michelle, my sister, she went running across the road to go see my dad, and a car was coming, and my mom, she screamed, and my dad didn't even look at my sister. My dad is the type of guy that isn't paying attention very much, really social and things like that. He just didn't even look, and he just hand on my sister's head and just moved her across the road, and the car went by and didn't hit her. Those are things that I'm talking about, where we can shift timelines within a moment of time where there's something that we truly don't want to happen. We're going to have these capabilities of stopping those things immediately, and I've had these dreams happening for a while now where, it's like something happens, and then instead of freaking out, I just state what I want to happen, and it surfaces or it stops. And these things keep happening. So I know it's in our future. And so you just kind of, the only thing that's holding us back, because you have to be in your heart space, right? You can't manipulate time and energy for, well, maybe if you're using a machine like CERN, I don't know, right? But you can't do this on a singular level where you're shifting these timelines and not being in your heart. Alchemy just doesn't work like that. Like true alchemy, or we'd have gold everywhere. Like they haven't mastered it. They haven't mastered it at all. And so, yeah, I don't know. I could talk about this stuff forever, but something's awakening in you. Invite it in is my thing. So if you were, I was wishing for clairvoyancy. Now's the time to invite it in with gratitude and openness that you're excited to start doing that. And then if you have a vision while you're driving, keep your eyes on the road. And I don't want to say don't be afraid, because it can kind of feel a little nervous when it does happen. But if you just trust and you invite these things in, maybe that's why they're asking for an invitation for these things to come on stronger, because if fear trumps it, you'll lose it. And you can get it back, but it can take, sometimes years before you can even allow yourself to consider receiving these gifts again. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I will talk to you soon. Bye.